believe that play and games are actually beneficial for all ages. For the seniors, we find that it not only promotes their physical health, it also promotes their mental health. And at the same time, play and games can help them to socialize with their friends, and it also helps them to reminisce the good old times that they have.
ActiveIG is happy to partner Singapore Poly Media, Arts and Design School in this age, Playfully, which use your transdisciplinary thinking for the student to apply what they learn in the class into a real-world context, so that they can gain the authentic learning, implying their skills to design games for the seniors. All of us will grow old, and I'm particularly passionate about aging from an individual perspective as well as the society as large, where we are growing into a fast aging population, and all of us should pay attention and also embrace aging is a positive force for good.
KISS is an industry partner for Singapore Poly. So what we like to do is that to share our industry experience, to value add to the students' lessons, and also hopefully in this way we can shorten their learning curve. For my company, we have been supplying toys and playthings to the elderly for more than a decade. So how we started is that we find that in Singapore, we do not have games and toys that reflect the local culture and heritage. So through the years, what we did was that we started designing our own toys.
The elderly are more fit than we think that they are. So take for example, my grandmother, who is 81 this year. She is quite agile, and she takes weekly Tai Chi lessons, and she even drives.
We generally assume that elderly people are frail and weak. However, through our research and interviews conducted by Understanding Humans and Communities and Playlab modules, we found out that this is actually the contrary. Age is just a number. And with our game, we hope to challenge this stereotype and allow the elderly to have fun.
So our project is a card game that aims to make exercise fun and interactive at the same time. We have two different types of cards, one fit and one fact. So for the fit cards, we have exercises that will help the elderly to improve their balance, strength, and fitness. And for the fact cards, we have personal questions that will help the elderly to get to know each other more. And we also put 4 translations on the card, which is the local Singapore languages, English, Malay, Mandarin and Tamil, so that elderly from different races can come together and play our game.
Okay, so like for the benefit, right? So through our project, the elderly is able to stay physically active while building their friendships. Then, as Fit or Fight is a card game, it is a convenient way to place areas such as the community centers, as this allows them, like the elderly, to socialize more and get to know more within their peers.
And through our feedback that we done with the elderly, they gave their opinion that the fit cards are actually not too difficult to do, like the exercises, and they also enjoyed our questions that we had in the fact cards, like for example their childhood dream and also what they would like to, the place that they would like to go with their loved ones in Singapore. And so these questions allow them to share more about themselves, and also we get to know them better also.
All the cards have to be shuffled and placed in the middle of the table. The game will start with the oldest one picking out a card. If you get a fit card, you must do the exercise on the card. If you get a fact card, you must answer the question on the card.
Is to watch Korean dramas and Korean shows.
So cool.
One of my favorite shows are Boss in the Mirror. Yeah, it's fun.
Alright, the next one. 2, 3, 4.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4.
When we were researching about our elderly community, we realized that they had a lot of physical impairments such as like visual impairments and mobility impairments. And when we realized this, we realized that there were limited games that they could actually play easily and accessibly. So that's why we really wanted to focus on developing a game that anyone can play. Yep.
Yes. And through our research, we also found that the elderly are quite lonely. We found that even though they may live with their family, they may also not interact much with their family members, and some of them also rarely go outside. So we wanted this game to like help them to bond.
Yeah, I agree. And then elderlies like us, right? Everyone likes to play because play is universal. Because like life is all about having fun, right? So yeah.
And having this disabilities or problems with the elderly school gives us the young students to help them and also create such games to help them and also make them be more active.
So our project is a game called Spot It, Singapore edition. And the goal of the game is actually to draw a card from the stack in the middle of the mat, identify the icon on the card, then spot it on the mat itself. It's very similar to Snap, and it's meant to train elderly's hand-eye coordination and helps to enhance their core cognitive abilities. So for this game, it's made such that anybody can play, so the elderlies can bond with their family members or friends over this game.
Yes, and this game also promotes the elderly in being like competitive as well as being active. It also helps them to stimulate their minds when finding the icons, and also it promotes the hand-eye coordination as well.
Yeah, and if I also could add, these icons are iconic Singaporean items that the elderly would recognize, and we also design based on
70s magazines,
Yeah.
in which it's the era in which most of the elderlies we interviewed for our research were in their youth. So this game will help them reminisce about maybe the times where they thought were better, where they were more youthful, and could further train their core cognitive abilities. Play our game. First step, set the deck in the center of the mat and have one player flip open the first card from the top of the deck.
So like this.
and then spot the icon.
Yeah. Kopi. What's this? Tapao. Kopi or tapao.
Okay, so the person will take the card, and the game will end when we have went through all the cards.
Okay.
I am heartened to see the students applying what they learn in the class into the real world, and particularly when I was talking to one of the students, she had a great conversation with her grandmother, and she told me that through the conversation she realized that the grandmother is lonely despite staying together with them.
Yes, definitely. We are delighted to see what they have presented. They have actually truly apply what they have learned in class, their knowledge and their skills, to benefit the community at large.
This is the benefits of this collaboration. We do not just want the students to apply what they have learned in the class, but more importantly, develop empathy and compassion for the older adults around us, especially their grandparents and their parents. Everybody can play regardless of our life stages, because there's an inner child in all of us, whether you're young or old. And especially when we are aging, we should still encourage the inner child to go out and to embrace play. And particularly in sports, it's about play, rules and competition. And if we can modify the play, change the rules, everyone can still play and compete in a friendly and fun manner. I think that Active Edu is always happy to partner Singapore Poly and Media Arts Design School to bring about more games, fun and application of what the students learn in the school and the class to promote sports as well as physical activity for our senior to embrace active aging.
Yes, definitely. We want to continue as an industry partner with Singapore Poly, and maybe in the past we would want to also look into digitalizing the games as well.